Hi and welcome to this tutorial on robotics. This will be a series of tutorials, of 3 tutorials on automated vehicles. So we're going to be looking at the first one on the motors. Part 2, we'll look at the ultrasonic and collision control, so of course stopping if it sees an object. And in the third part, we are going to have the robot programmed using the ultrasonic, where as it approaches an object, it will start to slow down, and if that object starts to come towards it, it will reverse. So it can basically be following that object around a room or a line, etc. Anyway, to start with, now I will be using the Cogmation Virtual Robotic Toolkit to model the programming on, and of course the EV3 software to program my robot. Now, first of all, I need to switch on my robot, and of course this is the brick. I click on the middle button and turn it on, and the sound indicates it's on with the color of the keypad there. And going back to the EV3 software, I can then create a new project. Okay, clicking on the plus side, the plus symbol at the top, and it will then create a new project. Okay, now as this will be your first time of using the EV3 software, a very quick overview of the palette down the bottom. The green section are your action tools. These are basically your move blocks, your display blocks, your sound blocks. This one here controls one large motor, whereas these two controls 2 motors at the same time simultaneously. And then we have a medium motor. The next one, the orange one, is for your flow control. This is your conditions, your if else, your loop, or your wait for block. Okay. The yellow section, of course, is the sensors, where you can use to measure the temperature, where you can measure the light, and you can store it as a variable for later use. Then we go to data operations, which this is where you can create your variables, your constants, your math blocks, your compare blocks, and then there are some more advanced sections. Okay. Now, to begin with, I want to then have a look at the motor blocks. Okay, these are very important. What I will do is I am going to move myself up to here so you can see down here. Now, in order to connect to the virtual brick, I need to click on available bricks. If you're using the physical brick and you plugged it in via the USB, there'll be no need to do this, but with the virtual one, I need to do this and connect to it. Now, at this moment, I do not know what ports my sensors and motors are plugged to. Ports 1, 2, 3, 4 are sensors, A, B, C, D are motors, and it is important to know what what ports they're plugged into, so that actually when we're programming, we know we can tell the robot, I want you to use the color sensor on port 2, and if, for example, it's if it doesn't work and actually it's plugged into port 3, then it won't work. There'll be an error. Okay, so we click on the port view, which looks like a little alien, and I can see my 2 large motors are A and B, my medium motor is D, and your touch is 1, gyro is 2, ultrasonic is 3, and color is 4. Bit of advice. Make sure you check which ports your sensors and motors are connected on your robot, because your robot may be plugged in to completely different sensor ports or motor ports. So you need to make sure you check that. I have seen very too often students, even teachers, copy the instructor's coding and then putting a hand up and saying it does not work. And when I come across, it's because their motors or their sensors are not plugged in. You must check your port view and you must see which ones are plugged in. Now, to make this move, I am going to use, first of all, I'm going to use the steering block. And if I look at the properties, there are 5 different properties. Off, of course, means the motors are off. This means on. And the next one means seconds. So if I click seconds, the next one is about turn, if I want it to turn. This one is how fast, the power. So 100 is full. 0, of course, is stop. So 50 is 50%. And then minus, of course, is reverse. And because it's seconds, it's asking how long. And 1 second there. So if I download that, you should hear a sound. We then go to the Virtual Robotic Toolkit. To simulate this, I press play, and I then select with the buttons on the control the program in my project. Click go, and it should go for 1 second and stop, which is what it does. Then I press stop on here. Let's have a look at the next one. Degrees. Now, degrees isn't about turning. Degrees is how many wheels are turned. So if I say 90 degrees, it means the wheel has gone 90 degrees. Okay, 360 degrees is 1 turn of the wheel. So if I change this to 90, the wheel will turn 90 degrees. Okay, this is very useful for when you're turning angles. I will download this, go to the Virtual Robotic Toolkit, play, select the program with the buttons, and you can see it did not go far, but actually the wheel, because there's a little spoke there, it turned 90 degrees. Okay, stop on here, and you can actually see me pressing stop. This goes back 90 degrees, so you can see the 90-degree turn there of the wheel. The other one is rotations, which of course is how many rotation the wheel it moves. So if I put 1.5, download, go to the Virtual Robotic Toolkit, play, select our project, select our program. You can see what should happen is it will go round once and then half, and it'll be over here. So if I press play, and it then goes, it goes 1.5 rotations. I press stop, and it goes back. Okay. The final one, of course, is on. And if I just download that, what you'll see is actually nothing happens. And the reason is this is where you need your wait blocks. So it says, I want it to move forward until a sensor is detecting something. So if I press play, it won't move because there isn't anything. It's saying move forward till when. But that's in the next section. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share and comment. I do like to read your comments. Okay, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.